Hi everybody, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! From Ohio, and I'm here to bring you my Simply Saturday video with card number 75. Sounds like a lot of cards, doesn't it? Well, it pretty much is to me. So anyway, I am here to do that. I hope everybody's having a good start of their weekend. We have a busy weekend. We have a busy week. And of course, my yawning is going to start every time I get on here. It drives me crazy, crazy, crazy. But anyway, I just got a few things to say about Stampin' Up! And then I'll get on to our card. First thing is about our starter kit. If you have an order close to $99 and you would want to join my team, I would love it, because if you did that, you would get $125 worth of product to pick out, plus all the new 5 new in-color stamp pads, which is worth about another $70. And so it's a good deal. So that's $70 and $125, $195 for stuff for $99. So good deal. That's on until May 31st. If you have any questions about it, please let me know, and I would be happy to answer that. Another thing is, you know, I'm in a collaboration with some other girls that we have put together videos and different things for the different months. And May is out right now. So for a $50 order, you can get a, you'll get an email with a video plus 2 PDFs. So it's a total of 3 projects. And one project will be in a, video, and the other 2 will be a PDF. So I got those to send out, and for the ones that's already ordered that I have not done that, and I keep saying I'm going to, and hopefully this weekend with everything we have to do, it's supposed to rain, and I'm hoping to kind of stay in and maybe just get some stuff done. And the last thing I want to tell you about is the vellum product of the month called Berry Botanical. It's hard to say real fast. So anyway, for you can get that for $5 with a $75 order, and it's really cute. It's what I'm going to use today. I had told you the other day that mine was coming and I would do a project, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to quit yawning, because once I start stamping, maybe I won't yawn. I think I get too comfortable doing a video anymore that I just like, I'm relaxed. But I got to stop doing that, and I don't know how to stop. Ever have to ask the doctor how to stop yawning? I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to be doing that. So I'm going to turn the camera down and show you what I'm going to be using, and we're going to get started. It's a quick card, and then I have another idea for it that I've gotten done, but I'm only going to do one card. I'm only going to do this first one. So let's turn the camera down for the first thing. Let's turn it around. Then we'll go down. We'll bring this down. So here's the paper on the vellum. There's 4 different sheets. Here's the card we're going to be making. I am going to refresh my page over here so I can get that up on my screen also. So there we go. We have it. And but anyway, I'm going to show you the paper in person. I'm going to show you it in real life time. My cat is sitting straight behind me. I just about fell over her. I am telling you, she is just a rascal. Okay, here is the vellum. You get 3 sheets of each. And I probably have mine out of order. This one I already cut up. But there it is, a hole. So there's 1 sheet. It is actually pretty heavy, even though it's vellum. It's a little bit heavier than regular vellum, but not heavy like cardstock. So there's one. Jeez. Then here's the other one. Here's 2 pieces of it anyway. My 3rd piece is laying over on my cutter, or by my cutter. So here's this one. And I'll show you a card made with that in a few minutes. Here is the other one. We're going to be using this one. So that's 2 sheets here of that. You'll get 3, but I have 2 because I have everything. And then we're using this one, so I only have 2 here. This is probably my favorite because I love green and I just like the looks. So anyway, those are, you'll get 12 sheets and you can get those for $5 with a $75 order. And I know everybody has $75 worth of stuff they would like to order. If you're like me, you have lots of $75 worth of stuff you want to order. You just can't order it all at one time. So there's our vellum right now that we will be using. I'm going to lay it out of the way. And then I'm going to show you the stamps that I'm going to be using for this Sending You Hugs is the phrases and frames. And then here are the dies that go with them. And I'm going to be using this little die right here. And we're going to use that. Whoops, I'm dropping my stuff. And I'm going to use these sequins, and they're called Sunset Sparkle Sequins. They actually come with the set with the sailboat and that, and the scenic, it's called Scenic Coast, the papers and stuff, and it actually goes with that. But these white ones, oh, I am not using those. Look, I said that wrong. I used those on the other card. I don't even know what I did with those. Let me find them. I used the butterflies. So I may use the butterfly still on this one. I don't know. Maybe I will use these. But I think I'll use the butterflies. Not sure. I really liked them. Here is the other card that I did. Just to show you the difference. This is the same piece of paper. This one is on Golden Glow. Makes it a softer look. That is on your basic white. So makes the colors really vibrant. This paper right here is on Fresh Freesia as the background because that's what that is. And this one, you can see the white dots a lot clearer because it is on a white background. So there, you know, it'll look different when you put different papers under it. And I tried a lot of the different ones here. Like I tried the Fresh Freesia, I tried the Strawberry Slush that's in the paper and all that, and I really like the Golden Glow or the white. And there that is with a piece of Golden Glow behind it, so it kind of matched the front. And I used the white, our new white gel pen, so I'm going to show you that today. Because that, I'll show you the piece of paper before it is colored, which is this right here. And I'll actually put it on the Golden Glow just so that you can see what it looks like without the white. So can you see the difference on that? Here's with all the white that I added into it, and here it is just plain. So you can see it brightens it up. And we got gel pens in this year. They're in our new catalog, and they are really nice. They add color very well. And if you want to, you can always just take a piece of scrap paper, get it started. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that out of the way. I'll just set it on here. And I'm going to, hope I don't get that wipe that white. And I'm just going to add some dots in the flower centers. Not adding much, just a few. here and there. So I'm going to get all the centers done first. And then I'm going to take and just maybe add a little bit up my leaves. Just to give a little bit of color, little pizzazz. And then I'm going to just take and round these like they are on the berries. Or buds, I don't know what they are, but whatever they are. So there we have all of that. So what I'm going to do while I put the card together is flicked paint all over the place. I'm going to go ahead and shut that. And I'm going to move this right over here because I'm going to let that dry for a minute. Because I can go ahead and glue this together. And that vellum is a 3.5 by 3.5, I do believe. What did I do with my little cheat sheet? I made me a cheat sheet. No, it's 3 by 3. And then this is 3 1/8 by 3 1/8, and the white is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So I'm just going to add some glue to here and put it down on this. And I'm going to take my other colors. This is 5 by 3 3/4, and the vellum is, or the basic white is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. This is 5 by 3 3/4. Now I am going to use my Stampin' Seal on that. And this is going to cover this for the most part. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make a big X. Maybe if I can get it to run. There we go. So, and I'm just going to center that on here, put it down. But as you can see, you really can't see where I put that. But I do like to hide it, just in case it comes out a little bit. And this is going to go in here. I'm not going to put that on there until I put this piece on there, because I'm going to use dimensionals on it. So I'm going to set that to the side just for a second. I can actually go ahead and put the green on my card. So let's burnish that really well. I had an orange one here, but the cat knocked it on the floor a minute ago. Moxie was up here before I started doing my video, knocked my ribbon over and unrolled it all, and then she knocked my little scraper, here's the orange one, on the ground, and yeah, she just had a fun day. I was like, you can stop any day now, girlfriend, because she drives me crazy. So I'm going to center this on this card right here. And I'm going to take for my inside, I'm going to glue these together. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my strip and come down. My piece of Misty Moonlight. Whoops. Just add that there. And then I can use my glue now. And this is about a 1/2 inch by 3 3/4. And I'm going to add it to my card. As soon as I quit making it slide all over the place. Goodness gracious. And then I'm going to add that to this piece of Golden Glow. I already lost my cheat sheet. And the Golden Glow is wait a minute. I didn't write that down. I did not write that down. So let's see here. This measures 3.5 by 4 3/4, I think. Yep. 3.5 by 4 3/4. So this is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8 is the Golden Glow. So we're going to add that. So let's just put this down. I thought that would kind of match what we've done on the card on the outside. So I'm going to add this to the inside. So I added a lot of layers, but it's all easy stuff to do. It just gives your card a little bit more of a wow factor, and I like doing that. So there's the inside of my card. And got a little piece of glue right there. I guess that's what it was. So anyway, now let's see if this is dry. And how you can tell is when you pick it up, it's real glossy when it goes on, and then it's not as glossy when you go to put it on. Now, I'm going to put a little piece up in here because that's where I'm going to be putting my sentiment. And then I'm going to take and just add a little dot here and a little dot over here. So when I put this down, I turned it over so I wouldn't rub my hand over those dots. There we go. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to add this to our card, okay? And so I am going to add dimensionals to that. But if you put the white gel pen on there, you want to let that sit for a couple minutes and dry before you start handling it and putting glue on it and stuff like that, so you don't smear it. It dries pretty fast, but I always like to err on the side of caution and let it just cure for a minute. But I want to show you that because that is such a great trick. It's such a great trick to use with the DSP and all that too. I just keep forgetting that I have those sometimes, and I knew I wanted to use them with vellum, so we're going to put this on. Then I'm going to take my little bitty guy right here, and I'm going to stamp the the sentiment with my peaceful pine stamp. So with these felt pads, I like to go twist, twist. Make sure I get ink on there. I'm not stamping, hard. I just twist, twist, and then I tap, tap, tap. And that's to get when you twist that, you can get a swirl. So then I can just and tap it, and it gets that swirl out. And if I don't have any ink on the outer edges, I can rock that just a little bit to make sure I get all my words. With these little stamps, I like to do that. And if you can see, when you go twist, twist, you'll see all your words are on there, but I tap it out so that any of that swirl's gone. And you can see I don't have anything on the edges because I didn't push that into the stamp. I just laid it down, and then when you stamp it, you can have a clear image. Okay? You don't have to press in them, but if you want a good image, you just kind of twist, twist. I always called it, years ago when I taught with felt pads, I'd always go twist, twist, tap, 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 and that's one of the things my granddaughter always remembered when you stamp. Twist, twist, tap, tap, tap. but that's hard to do with the, the foam pads like we have now, that most of our ink pads are. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on here. And I'm going to pop this up also on my card. And I just will find a place that I kind of, and I'll have it hang over just a tiny bit. And then I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm just going to leave it on the roll. Just leave it on the roll. My little edge through, because I'm just going to, I don't want this very big. So I can cut this so it's not fraying. And then I can cut that one. I'm going to use a glue dot. I'm just going to put a glue dot right in the center of that. Press that on there so it picks it up really good. Make sure it's not showing. And I'm just going to bring it and stick it right in this little corner right here. Then I got to trim that edge again. I don't know what it wants to fray like that for, but I don't want it to. That one's too pointy. I feel like I'm giving it a haircut. So anyway, there that is down like that. Now let's add some butterflies. I have lots of butterflies, so I figured I might as well use them. And I think what I'm going to do is get all the ribbon off of me. I'm going to add a small one. Whoops. He's going to flip over on himself. I'm going to put a little blue one up here. And then we can actually use all the colors on here. It doesn't really matter. So there we go. We have 5 little butterflies on there, just like we do on this one. They're not placed the same. The paper almost looks, well, it looks a little different. The leaves are different places. And that, because you just cut it out of your one piece, you don't know what your flowers will look different on each card when you do that. But if you cut those 3x3s, you can get quite a few out of a piece of paper. And this idea, I just wanted to show you something different and how this could look on white. It really brightens it up. Put that between the 2 dark ones. And you can see how that goes. It's really pretty vellum. When you can get some printed vellum like that, it's really pretty with what you can do. Now this one, papers are cut are basically the same here. And I used a 2-inch and a 2 1/4 inch. I used my punches, but you could use dies, whatever. Put some baker's twine around there, and where my knot is, I just put this over. And since I popped this circle piece over the twine so it wouldn't be so lumpy, when I put this on, I used another dimensional here. So since I used one there, I had to, at this part, I stacked 2 on top of each other since that already had one, and then this one would be 2. So I put 2 on top of there and just put it over the center of this bow. And I added some of the sequins that I showed you here. I added these that have kind of like the pink look to them. So that's how I made these cards. And there's a ton of ways you can use the vellum. But use like, I know the stamp and seal won't really show through them because I had put all the edges down on here, and you can't see where I've put the vellum, the stamp and seal on here. Did the same with this. This is on with stamp and seal, and so are these with the corners. So if you use that, I know it doesn't show. Don't use glue. Don't use liquid glue because it's lumpy, it's wet, and it takes a while for it to dry on the vellum. So don't use a liquid glue. You can try glue dots. I do think they show just a little bit more than what the stamp and seal does. You can try the Tombow rollers. I didn't try those because I just had this. In fact, I just put a new refill and that stuff in it, so I thought it's laying out, I'm going to use it. And here's our gel pens I use. They say Stampin' Up 1.0, and you get two of them in a package for $9. So they're like $4.50 a piece if you put it out that way. But you can use them on the cardstock. You saw you could use them on the vellum. They're going to dry and stuff. So there's a lot of things you can do with them. You can write on black, especially if you're scrapbooking, you want to use black. You could write your message in white, would be really pretty and different. So there's just a lot of things you can do with these. And I wanted to actually show you that. And so that is our Saturday. If you live in Ohio, I think we're supposed to have some rain. I think they downed the rain chances. I'm not real sure how much they downed them, but anyway, I hope it doesn't rain. We have a graduation party to go to tomorrow, and my grandson got in from New Jersey last night. I saw him today, and my granddaughter will be in from Grenada on Sunday, and all the family will be together when their brother graduates and have his graduation party and stuff. So I'm looking forward to this week. It's going to be a busy one, but heck, I'm going to talk to you later, okay? Thank you, and bye.